Alright everyone, welcome to today's video. Many of us have long believed that simply walking a lot and keeping active on our feet is the key to staying healthy, especially as we move past the age of 70. But in the context of modern medicine, is that notion still accurate? Today, we're going to bring you a fresh perspective, one that might surprise you. Medical experts are now raising concerns about focusing solely on walking as the only form of exercise after 70. Walking, undeniably, is a fantastic activity for staying active. However, if that's all you're doing, you might inadvertently be speeding up the aging process instead of slowing it down. The truth is, as we age, our bodies demand more. To maintain flexibility, ensure stable balance, and protect our precious joints, walking alone simply isn't enough. Over-relying on our steps while neglecting other essential forms of movement can lead to undesirable consequences. The wearing away of muscle mass, pressure on the joints, and even an increased risk of falls. That's why experts now recommend that, after the age of 70, we should reduce the time solely dedicated to walking and instead focus on the following 5 crucial elements. Because these are the real secrets to maintaining strength, abundant energy, and independence throughout our later years. In this video, we will explore together the 5 important areas you should prioritize instead of just walking. These seemingly simple changes have immense power in improving mobility, protecting the musculoskeletal system, and can even extend your precious years of life. Stay tuned until the end of the video, because the final element is something that is rarely mentioned, yet it plays a vital role in determining our lifespan. And right now, let's delve into each element one by one. First, it's strength training to preserve muscle mass. Walking is a wonderful way to keep the body agile, but if it's your only physical activity, you might be putting yourself at risk of muscle loss after 70. Sarcopenia, or the gradual decline of muscle mass, becomes one of the biggest threats to the independence of older adults. The problem is, simply walking doesn't provide much stimulus for building muscle. It mainly works the lower body, and even then, it doesn't offer enough resistance for muscles to maintain their strength. That's why doctors are increasingly emphasizing that, after 70, strength training needs to be a top priority, because it directly combats muscle loss, improves balance, and helps us stay strong enough to avoid injuries and unfortunate falls. Think about it. If you can still easily carry a heavy bag of groceries without feeling strained, get up from a chair without using your hands for support, or open a stubborn jar effortlessly, that's a good sign that your muscles are still functioning well. But if these seemingly simple tasks become more difficult than before, then your muscles might be gradually weakening, even if you don't realize it. And the reality is, if we don't actively train to maintain strength, the body will start to lose muscle mass. Consider the case of Mr. Liam, 75 years old. He always believed that walking every day was enough to keep him healthy. However, one day, he found it difficult to lift a box that he used to handle with ease. He also noticed that getting up from the sofa became more strenuous. Initially, he attributed it to old age, but then his doctor explained that muscle loss isn't just a natural process. It happens faster if we don't challenge our muscles. So, he started adding basic strength exercises to his daily routine, using light resistance bands, doing bodyweight squats, and simple dumbbell exercises. Within just a few months, he noticed a significant difference. He felt stronger, more stable, and even more energetic throughout the day. Strength training doesn't necessarily mean lifting heavy weights in a gym. It can be as simple as using resistance bands, performing bodyweight exercises like squats or wall push-ups, or even lifting familiar household items. The important thing is that we gradually increase the difficulty, challenging our muscles moderately to keep them active and engaged in movement. And the benefits it brings don't stop at increased strength. Studies have shown that maintaining muscle mass is directly linked to a longer lifespan, better mobility, and even improved brain health. If you want to test your current strength, try this exercise. Sit in a chair and stand up without using your hands. If you can do this easily, it's a positive sign. But if you find it difficult, then it might be time for us to focus on rebuilding our strength. And the good news is, it's never too late to start. Strength training can reverse muscle loss, improve balance, and help us maintain our independence for many years to come. So, if you're still relying solely on walking for exercise, consider this an important reminder. Muscles are key to longevity, and after 70, they are one of the most important things we need to protect. Second, it's balance and stability exercises to prevent falls. Walking helps us move, but it doesn't always improve our balance. And this is something that most people don't realize until it's too late. After the age of 70, preventing falls becomes one of the most crucial aspects of maintaining health and independence. Falls are a leading cause of serious injuries in older adults, and many falls occur not because of weak legs, but due to poor balance. If we don't actively train our balance, we can inadvertently increase the risk of tripping, slipping, and dangerous falls. Perhaps you're thinking, I've been walking my whole life. Surely my balance must be good? But dear viewers, balance isn't something that automatically stays strong over time. It will gradually decline if we don't actively work on it. Walking isn't enough to challenge the small stabilizing muscles in our feet, ankles, and core in the way that specific balance exercises do. And if our balance weakens, even a small misstep can lead to a fall, the consequences of which can take months, even years, to recover from. Try to recall the last time you stood on one leg to put on socks or reached for something on a high shelf. Did you feel steady, or did you have to hold on to something for balance? Many people don't realize their balance is declining until they experience a near fall, a moment that startles them and makes them more cautious with every step. That's what happened to Mr. Noah, 74 years old. He was always an active person, but one day, while stepping off the curb, his foot landed at an awkward angle, and he suddenly lost his balance. Fortunately, he regained his balance in time, but that moment made him realize how vulnerable he had become. His doctor recommended simple balance exercises like standing on one leg, shifting weight from side to side, and practicing controlled movements to help him rebuild stability. Within just a few weeks, he noticed he felt stronger, steadier, and more confident in his movements. Balance exercises don't require us to go to the gym or use special equipment. Simple movements like standing on one leg, walking in a straight line heel to toe, or practicing slow and controlled weight shifts can significantly improve our balance. And the benefits it brings don't stop at preventing falls. Better balance also means we have better posture, quicker reflexes, and even improved coordination between different parts of the body, making every movement easier and more controlled. If you want to test your balance, try this exercise. Stand near a table for safety and lift one foot off the ground. See if you can hold this position for at least 10 seconds. If this feels easy, that's a positive sign. But if you find it difficult, it's an indication that your balance may need improvement, and the sooner we start, the better. Balance is one of those things we often don't think about until it's too late. But training it now can help us stay healthy and independent for many years to come. So if you're still only focusing on walking, it's time we prioritize balance exercises as well, because the best way to prevent falls isn't just to stay active, but also to train our bodies to stay steady. Third, it's flexibility and mobility exercises to keep joints healthy. Walking can help our legs move, but it doesn't provide much benefit for flexibility. And this is a factor that becomes extremely important after the age of 70. Over time, our joints naturally become stiffer, the range of motion decreases, and movements that we used to perform easily may start to feel restricted. If you've ever noticed that turning your head has become more difficult than before, or that bending down to tie your shoes isn't as easy as it used to be, that's a sign that our flexibility is declining. And as our mobility starts to narrow, so does our independence. The problem is, many people don't realize the importance of mobility until they start to lose it. Simply walking doesn't stretch the muscles adequately, nor does it address all the different types of movements our joints need to maintain function. That's why doctors are increasingly emphasizing that, after 70, dedicating time to flexibility and mobility exercises is just as important as staying active, because it's what allows us to continue performing daily activities without feeling discomfort or strain. Think about the last time you reached for something in the back seat of your car or tried to put on a coat. Did you feel comfortable, or did you notice stiffness? Many people overlook these small changes and assume they're just a part of aging. But what's really happening is that the muscles and connective tissues are gradually tightening over time, reducing our flexibility bit by bit. This is exactly what happened to Mr. Oliver, 77 years old. He still walked every day, but over time, he noticed that getting out of bed in the morning became more difficult. When he bent down to pick something up off the floor, he had to bend his knees more than usual. His doctor explained that the loss of mobility wasn't solely due to age, but also because he wasn't using his joints through their full range of motion. So he started incorporating gentle stretching exercises, controlled movements, and joint exercises into his daily routine. Within just a few weeks, he felt more comfortable, more at ease, and even noticed an improvement in his posture. Flexibility exercises don't mean we have to sit down and try to touch our toes for 10 seconds. Dynamic stretches, controlled rotation movements, and gentle yoga-inspired movements can make a big difference. Simple activities like neck rotations, shoulder rolls, pulling the knees towards the chest, or ankle rotations help keep our joints lubricated and pain-free. And the benefits it brings don't stop at feeling less stiff. Better mobility also means we experience less aches and pains, have better blood circulation, improved posture, and even a reduced risk of falls. If you want to test your flexibility, try this exercise. Stand straight and slowly turn your head as far as you can to one side and then to the other. Do you feel comfortable, or do you feel stiffness? If you notice limitations, it's a sign that your flexibility is decreasing, and now is the time for us to do something about it. Loss of mobility isn't inevitable. With just a few minutes each day focused on stretching, we can keep our bodies feeling younger, more flexible, and pain-free for many years to come. So, if walking is your primary form of exercise, it's time we focus on flexibility as well. Keeping our joints loose and our movements smooth is one of the most important things we can do to maintain our activity and independence after 70. Fourth, it's core and posture exercises to protect the spine. Walking can help our legs move, but it doesn't provide much benefit for our core strength or posture. And these are two factors that become incredibly important after the age of 70. A strong core isn't just about having toned abs. It's about maintaining stability, preventing back pain, and ensuring our spine stays aligned as we move. If our core is weak, we might start to feel discomfort in the lower back, have balance issues, or tend to hunch over when walking. All of this can increase the risk of falls and put pressure on the joints over time. Most people don't realize the importance of postural strength until they start to feel aches and pains they've never had before. If you notice yourself slouching more, feeling stiff in your lower back, or having difficulty standing upright for long periods, it's a sign that our core muscles aren't functioning well. Simply walking doesn't adequately engage the deep stabilizing muscles in the abdomen and lower back, which is why doctors are increasingly emphasizing that, after 70, core and posture exercises need to become a priority. Consider the case of Mr. James, 76 years old. He was always an active person, but over the years, he noticed his shoulders becoming more rounded and his lower back feeling tighter, even though he still walked every day. His doctor explained that poor posture was putting extra stress on his spine and joints, leading to chronic stiffness and an increased risk of losing balance. So he started incorporating gentle core activation exercises like pelvic tilts while sitting, adjusting his posture while standing, and engaging his abdominal muscles into his daily routine. Within just a few weeks, he noticed his back pain decreased, his posture improved, and even his lung capacity increased. Core exercises don't require us to go to the gym or use any special equipment. Simple movements like standing straight against a wall, tightening the lower abdominal muscles while sitting, or practicing slow and controlled rotation movements can activate the deep stabilizing muscles that help keep our spine aligned. And the benefits it brings don't stop at posture. A strong core also means we have better balance, reduced pressure on the joints, and even improved digestion, because our abdominal muscles play a crucial role in supporting our internal organs. If you want to test your core strength, try this exercise. Stand against a wall with your back straight, head, shoulders, and hips touching the wall. Can you maintain this posture comfortably, or do you feel like you have to strain to stand straight? If it feels unnatural, it's a sign that your posture may need improvement, and the sooner we start strengthening our core, the better. Posture and core strength are essential for maintaining activity, avoiding injuries, and keeping us looking youthful. So if you're still only relying on walking for exercise, it's time we focus on the muscles that truly help us stand tall and strong. And finally, the fifth element, it's protecting joints and low-impact exercises to reduce stress. Walking is a great way to stay active, but if it's your only form of exercise, it can start to put unnecessary stress on your joints, especially after the age of 70. As we age, joint cartilage gradually wears down, joint fluid decreases, and the body's ability to absorb shock becomes less effective. This is why many older adults start to experience knee stiffness, hip pain, or foot discomfort, even if they've been very active throughout their lives. The problem isn't necessarily the walking itself, but that walking alone doesn't provide enough support for the joints our bodies need. Many people assume that joint pain is just a natural part of aging, but in reality, stiffness and discomfort happen faster when we don't actively protect our joints. Walking can sometimes exacerbate this because it involves repetitive impact on the same joints over and over again. That's why doctors are increasingly emphasizing that, after 70, we need to walk less and focus more on low-impact movements that help strengthen and protect our joints. Try to recall the last time you went for a long walk. Did you feel energized and pain-free afterward? Or did you notice your joints were sore, stiff, or had a lingering ache? If walking makes you feel sore, it could be a sign that your joints aren't getting the support they need. This is exactly what happened to Mr. Mateo, 79 years old. He walked every day and thought it was the best thing for his health, but over time, his knees started to feel stiff and his lower back started to ache. His doctor explained that he needed to reduce the repetitive impact on his joints and start incorporating low-impact movements instead. He began doing gentle water exercises, cycling, and exercises focused on flexibility, and within just a few weeks, his pain significantly decreased without him having to give up being active altogether. Joint-friendly movements include activities like water aerobics, cycling, tai chi, or even simple stretching exercises done in a chair. These activities help increase blood flow to the joints, improve lubrication, and strengthen the surrounding muscles without putting excessive pressure on sensitive areas. And the benefits it brings don't stop at pain reduction. Protecting our joints now will ensure we have better mobility, less stiffness, and easier movement for many years to come. If you want to check the condition of your joints, try sitting in a chair and slowly standing up without using your hands. Pay attention to how your knees and hips feel. Do they move smoothly, or do you feel stiffness and pain? If there's any discomfort, it's your body telling you that your joints need more care, and switching to low-impact movements can make a big difference. Maintaining healthy and strong joints isn't just about avoiding pain. It's about preserving mobility, protecting independence, and ensuring that every step we take feels easy rather than painful. So, if you're still only focusing on walking, it's time we prioritize the health of our joints and start incorporating movements that help rather than harm. Final thoughts. Dear viewers, as we conclude this video, please take a moment to reflect on these 5 priorities. If you've been relying solely on walking for exercise, perhaps you haven't realized that your body needs more than just steps to stay healthy, flexible, and pain-free after the age of 70. Your focus should shift towards protecting muscle mass, improving balance, increasing flexibility, strengthening the core, and reducing stress on the joints. These are the elements that will truly help you stay active and independent for many years to come. Many people assume that aging means slowing down, but the truth is, our bodies still have the capacity to improve at any age. Whether you need to improve strength, balance, flexibility, or posture, small changes can make a big difference in how you move, how you feel, and how long you maintain your independence. The important thing is to start now. Muscle, balance, and joint health don't decline overnight. It happens gradually. But the good news is that means you have the power to slow down or even reverse this process. So, which of these 5 elements do you need to focus on the most? Have you noticed any changes in your strength, balance, or mobility? We'd love to hear your thoughts. So please leave a comment below sharing one thing you learned today and how you plan to put it into practice in your life. Your feedback is very important to us, so don't hesitate to share. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this video with your loved ones. Your support helps us continue creating valuable content to inform and inspire the community. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in our next videos. Wishing you good health and happiness.